Hi, welcome to automationtesting.in. In this video, we are going to see execute multiple XML files in testng. Now, if you see like execute multiple XML files in testng, we'll discuss about how to execute multiple XML files in testng at a time. For example, you have more than one XML suite files to execute different types of test cases in your project. Now, you can execute the individual XML files, simply right click on the XML file and run as testng suite. But if you have multiple files, then you need to put these all XML files into a separate XML file, and you need to do the same way that what you do for individual XML files. This way you can manage the test case execution how we want. Means, let's assume in your project you have 500 test cases. Okay, in that, as a smoke, you will execute some 30 scripts. Assume this is for smoke test. Okay, now you have some kind of sanity test. You do some 200 as a sanity test. Okay, it's for an example, sanity test. And in your regression, you will execute all 500 test cases. In your regression, you will do all 500 test cases. How you will achieve all these things? Usually what we have to do is, you have to create separate XML file for these 30 and separate XML file for this 200 and separate XML file for this 500. Reason is, these 30 test cases is somewhere in this 500 test cases. 2 will be in one file, 3 will be in one file, 1 will be in one file, something like that. So you cannot like visit 500 test cases and ignore or comment, something like that you cannot do each and every time. So I'll create one XML file. I'll place all these 30 files in this XML file. The same way I'll collate 200 test cases in another XML file, and all 500, my entire suite will be in some other Excel file. XML file. Now, when there is a smoke test, only I will execute these 30 test cases by right clicking on this XML file, run as testng test. Same way you do for this 200 also. If you want to execute regression, you can do for this 500 test cases. Okay, let's assume like in regression you have not 500. Let's assume 30, 200, 230 you remove, and you say some 270. Okay, not 500, 270. If you put all these things together, then you can execute 500 test cases, full regression. Okay, this is for example. It depends on your requirement. Here 30 test cases, here 200 test cases, here 270 test cases. If I want to execute only these 30 test cases, separate XML file. These 200 separate XML file. These 270 separate XML file. But sometimes you have to do some full regression. Now I want to execute all 500 test cases. Okay. Now, how you will execute all these 3 test suites at a time? Okay. Then you need to put all these 3 XML files into another XML file, and you run that XML file as run as testng test. Same way how you do these files. But how you do that in practically we will see now. Okay, let's jump into our Eclipse. Now I will create some sample test cases. Now we'll see, like I'll create one package in here, some com.multiple dot, I'll say regression package. Okay, I'll say regression package. In this regression, I'll create 2 classes. Like first class and finish. Now I'll put one simple test case in this, @test public void some test1. Okay. Now I'll simply print system.out.println some dummy test. I mean some test1 rig pack, something like that. Okay. Now I'll import this one. I'll import this one. Okay. Now I'll create one more package. No, I'll create one more class in this. Okay, second class. Okay, here also I'll do the same thing, that I'll copy paste this one in this. Okay, say same as test one, same to show some difference. That's it. Okay, now I'll create one more package. I'll create one more package here. Control V. I'll say this is smoke. Now I'll create one more package. Control V. I'll make it sanity. Okay, this is how I created. I'll create what I'll do, I'll copy these two things into this one and this one, and if I go here, first class and first class. Okay, this is in sanity pack. Okay, this is in sanity pack. If I go here, I'll say this is smoke. To make the difference, how you'll execute, that's all, nothing more than that. Simple console printing. Now if I want to execute only regression test cases, what I'll do, I'll create a separate XML file, testng, convert to testng, and I'll make it as, instead of testng, I'll say regression.xml. Finish. If you go to regression.xml, you can find these two test cases, second class and first class, from this regression package. This is normal way of execution. Okay, now I'll make the same thing for sanity also. Convert to testng. Instead of testng, I'll say sanity.xml. Now I'll make the one more XML file, testng, convert to testng. Here I'll say this is smoke.xml. Finish. Now if you visit sanity.xml, sanity package test cases, smoke related test cases, go to regression related test cases. If I want to execute only regression test cases, I'll right click on this one, regression.xml, run as testng suite. Okay, now if you see, it will execute, see, regression pack 1, regression pack, only related to regression. If I want to do the same for sanity, right click on sanity.xml, run as testng suite. Now it will execute only, see, sanity pack 1, sanity pack 2, sorry, pack. Now if you want to do that for smoke, run as testng suite. Okay, smoke pack 1, smoke pack. Okay, this way you will execute individual XML files. Now our scenario is, I want to execute these three as a separate, these three at a time. I want to execute these three XML files at a time. How you do that one? Now we'll see, like, we'll create one more XML file. Let's assume testng.xml. Now I'll remove these tests. Okay, I have only suite. In this suite, I want to execute all these three XML files. We have a provision in testng that we can put some XML files instead of classes, packages, how you put test methods. The same way you can put some XML files also in this XML file, and you can run same way. Now you have tags called suite files. Okay, how we have classes, packages, some same like we have suite files. In the suite file you have suite file. In the suite files, you have suite file. Now you have suite file, you have to give the path of where the suite file is. The same suite file will be in your current project, right? Now the name of suite file is, say, regression.xml. That's it. Simple thing. The same way, how many you have XML files? 3. Same way you have to put 3 XML files. Like I'll say regression, smoke, I'll say sanity. That's all. You have in the testng XML file, you have suite files. Suite file path equal this. You have to give the which XML files you want to execute in this. Now, if I want to execute all the files at a time, I'll right click on this testng.xml. Sorry, run as testng. suit, normal way how you do of other, like you see that it executed 3 suits. You see 3 suits is executed. In the first one you see regression second class, regression first class. In the second, smoke second class, smoke first class. In this, sanity second class, sanity first class. This way you can execute multiple XML files from another XML file. Okay, if you want to execute only some set of test cases, you can put in some XML file and you can execute. If you want to execute all your test suite at a time, you can merge these three XML files into one XML file and you can execute. This way you can easily handle like different type of requirements in your project. Okay, that's all how to execute multiple XML files in single file. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe to Automation Testing channel. Please like us at our Facebook page.